Our next SCP is written by the author is anonymous, so we don't know. We don't know. But here we go. The title of the SCP is called Fidget Winners. Okay. Object class safe. Special containment procedures. All instances of SCP-2947 are to be kept in individual containers with foam padding made to fit each instance to ensure that transportation cannot result in the accidental spinning of the instances. Currently, there are no plans to create new instances of SCP-2947, as far as you know. And then here we have the Fidget Winners. Well, looks like well, Howard did not tell me about this, which is a little bit annoying, but we will read it. Should I read it now? Or should I read it after? I think I'm gonna read it after this one. Okay. Our key events may be initiated by 2 or more personnel within Site 29's high impact test chamber. Proper testing procedure calls for 2 personnel to activate the SCP-2947 instance by spinning them counterclockwise and proceeding to evacuate through the blast doors in a timely manner. Description: -1 is a 3-pronged aluminum fidget spinner, toy patterned with stripes in black and red-yellow gradient. The cap of the axle of -1 has stylized text in katakana script reading Fidget Winners. TM. No such entity has been found in any extant trademark database. When spun in a direction the user perceives a counterclockwise, -1 will become capable of levitation. Breaking physical contact with -1 will result in it orienting itself horizontally and continue rotating at its original speed. During this time, it will produce A1, a semi-solid stylized holographic construct resembling a Smilodon fatalis, with a mane of blue flames and strapping in a pattern. Strapping in a pattern similar to the coloring on -1 itself. Contact with skin will cause -1 to cease motion and fall to the floor. A species of extinct saber-toothed cat native to South America from the late Pleistocene to Holocene eras. When spun in a direction the user perceives as clockwise, -1 will again suspend itself in mid-air but along a vertical axis. During this time, information is projected into SCP-2947 in a manner similar to a statistics seen in Japanese role-playing video games, displaying information such as -1's weight, maximum speed, and statistics which simply reads Fighting Spirit, which is listed as burning Smilodon. Furthermore, any item that can be classified as a fidget spinner toy that makes direct contact with -1 is transmogrified into an instance of SCP-2947. These additional instances possess anomalous properties identical to SCP-2947, but have variations of the statistics display based on design, composition, weight, etc. However, new SCP-2947 instances do not carry the same transformative properties as -1. Most instances of SCP-2947 to date also have a unique fighting spirit, but at least 2 2947 instances are spun counterclockwise and our key event will occur. Now, key events are characterized by 2 or more -A instances engaging in combat with one another. During this event, SCP-2947 instances will proceed towards the highest point in the area, up to 20 meters in outdoor areas, and attempt to collide with each other. These collisions are represented by physical combat that takes place between -A instances, very much Beyblade. SCP-2947 instances are unaffected by normal gravity for the duration of our key events. The apparent win condition of an our key event is knocking out all other SCP-2947 instances to the ground and immobilizing them. Following the conclusion of an our key event, SCP-2947 instances will return to their base state. Discovery: SCP-2947 was discovered following its confiscation from a student at middle school in Bangor, Maine. It was placed in a bin of confiscated objects along with several other fidget spinners previously confiscated, transfiguring all it made contact with into SCP-2947 instances. At the end of the 2016-2017 school year, when all confiscated materials were returned, at least 3 individuals independently spun their SCP-2947 instance counterclockwise, resulting in a large alky event. Due to the semi-solid nature of the entity and the force of the attacks, mainly in form of large pockets of high air pressure, over $200,000 damage was done to the building. Shit. A transcript of security cameras, footage documentation, the alky event is available below. For the purpose of clarity, all -A instances are referred to the designation given to them on the statistics board. So we have 2:39:15 p.m. Kyle Ballard, age 13, is seen spinning -1 before inadvertently letting go as another unidentified student collides with their shoulder and hovers in mid-air unnoticed by Ballard as he proceeds to berate the student who collided with him. 2:39:27 p.m. In the cafeteria, another student, Michelle Fletcher, puts down the SCP-2947 instance after spinning it counterclockwise. It proceeds to hover in mid-air. Before an instance of -A, Congo Cerebrus resembling a 3-headed gorilla appears underneath and grows to reach the ceiling. Approximately 10 meters high. The paper was laid on buckles under its weight, and Fletcher and several other students ran out of the room. I mean, I would also be highly confused if a gorilla suddenly showed up in my lunchroom. 2:39:31 p.m. Ballard's SCP-2947 instance flies around him in a figure 8 pattern before it manifests its own -A instance, burning Smilodon, a Smilodon fatalis with a mane made of blue fire. It roars before proceeding to run in the direction of the cafeteria. Oh, great. 2:42 p.m. Dr. Craig Ward, Ballard, homeroom teacher and original confiscator of SCP-2947, idly spins a 2-pronged fidget spinner before abruptly sneezing and having it fall out of the hand. Now was in mid-air, and an -A instance, Queen Aranya, in the form of a 20-limbed spider-like creature, appears, running from the room with the SCP-2947 instance in tow. It very much feels like Pokemon right now, like as in like the fidget spinners are like catching all these creatures. 2:41 p.m. Queen Ahanya runs down the chemistry hallway at high speeds. The air pressure wave created by its running shadows to fume hoods within labs 1 and 3 and leaves a large crack in the hood of lab 2. A fourth -A instance, Centurion Remus, in the form of a Roman centurion with the head of a large wolf, appears and engages in combat with Queen Aranya, resulting in damage to several rows of lockers. The origin of Centurion Remus is unclear. -4, when recovered, was found to have been soaked in water that was identified to be from the toilet of the men's restroom. 2:41:09 p.m. Several tables in the cafeteria are buckled and broken by the arriving of burning Smilodon, which grows to match the size of Congo Cerebrus. Cerebrus, yeah. Burning Smilodon pounces on Congo Cerebrus, causing both SCP-2947 instances to come into view of the cameras. They proceed to collide, repeatedly shooting sparks from the collision. 2:43:05 p.m. After several minutes of battling, the sparking from the two battling SCP-2947 instances ignites leftover cooking oil in one of the warming trays for cafeteria food, causing a fire to break out. At this point, the fire alarm is triggered and evacuation starts. 2:45:29 p.m. Burning Smilodon subdues Congo Cerebrus. Burning Smilodon roars, causing several lights overhead to spark and shatter. Both instances fall to the ground inert as a cafeteria worker sprays the oil fire with a fire extinguisher. I would love to use this for just SCP. Yeah, of course you would. 3:29 p.m. Well, yeah. There's no other way to say it. I mean, it is, but I'm not going to do it. Queen Aranya and Centurion Remus battle spills out into the parking lot of the school, where all school personnel have evacuated. Centurion is seen impaling Queen Aranya on the school's flagpole, when he causes it to buckle in half before both instances are rendered inert. One SCP-2947 instance lands on the head of an instructor, causing them to fall unconscious. This SCP is what happens if you mix Beyblade and Pokemon, I think. Yeah, absolutely. I was about to say, it's probably like just Beyblade by itself, because I remember like in the anime, each Beyblade was like a sentient being. Dragoon! 3:10, 2 p.m. Foundation containment personnel have arrived on scene and begin reviewing video logs. Addendum evolution of -A instances. During the 15th test of combat between -A1 and -A4, the burning Smilodon entity underwent a change in appearance following its victory. -1 now has longer fangs, a larger mane, and an overall larger body structure compared to the original appearance. Furthermore, testing of -A1 shows that it has had significant increase in the maximum speed at which it can be rotated, and weighs less than it did upon containment. These changes are reflected in the statistics screen, as in the change of A-A1, which is now referred to as coronal Machaerodonte. A shortening of Machaerodontinae, the subfamily of Felidae, which contains Smilodons. I still don't know if I say Smilodons correctly or not, who cares? -A1 has been observed winning contests more consistently. It's unknown if other -A instances are capable of this evolution. But here we have some more. Fidget winners. Seeing this means Marshall Carl and Dog is behind all this. Which is, it even says here, MC and D up left. Status, so FDG 43 / Windows, but it's W1NR3 5SLA2. Status leasing / renting, demand low. Value 2,800 Great British pounds, basically. Yeah, $4,000 per pair per monthly lease. 1,000 pounds and $1,400 per pair per daily rental. Okay. Availability, current inventory 12 pairs. Additional units can be requisitioned if the demand exists. Identify Fidget winners. Fidget winners are an anomalous version of the recent Fat Toys Fidget Spinners. When a minimum of 2 Fidget winners are spun counterclockwise, items will horizontally levitate up to 65 feet and project a fanciful semi-tangible hologram beneath them who will then engage in combat. Yeah, now we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Spinning items clockwise display the vital statistics of these fighting characters. Marshall Call and Dog LLP is not liable for any damage caused by Fidget winners battles. Because now it's talking about, like, yeah, if you have 2 people going to fight out, there will be holograms, and then whatever monster you have will fight each other out. It's literally, it's Yu-Gi-Oh!, Beyblade, and Pokemon all in one. It's Beyblade because you have the spinning, and the more it's faster it spins, the better. Then you have Pokemon because it contains a monster, and then you have Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it's also monster, but also hologram battle that you choose to have with somebody else. Alpha Victor Chan, date March 7th, 2018. Interest low. Identify Fidget winners. I was reviewing our most recent version of the SCP database for potential acquirable items when SCP-2947 caught my attention. The Fidget Spinners can generate ethereal, though still partially tangible combatants over 50 feet tall if there's room, which will then engage in a spectacular battle. Naturally, the high amount of destruction such entities can potentially cause limits to desirability. One of my clients, the Circle of Disquieting, has expressed an interest in them. Of course they have. I'm surprised One Entertainment did not make this. They intend to put on monster fights within a specially constructed ring, which should provide ample room to fight while minimizing risk to the spectators. Since the circus plans to use these items on a daily basis, I believe it would be best to lease them the Fidget winners at a reasonable monthly rate. In addition to the yet to be finalized percentage of the... That's my laundry. Of the revenue from these fights. However, it occurs to me that other clients may desire these for special occasions only, and so I would also recommend renting these items out as a per diem basis as well. According to the SCP file, non-anomalous fidget spinners can be converted into fidget winners simply by coming into contact with the original SCP-2947. This means it should be possible for one of our operatives to convert and produce a supply of these items without stealing anything or Foundation being alerted to any breach of security. I formally request that one of our operatives acquire as many duplicates of SCP-2947 as possible and that they be sent to the Hong Kong offices. Filed upon on, okay, memo. That's all the same center. Amos Marshall, recipient Victor Chan. Low cost, low risk, and the potential for obscene profit margins. Request wholeheartedly approved. Looking over the SCP file, I don't doubt these beasts will put on a bloody good show. Okay, so okay, gotcha. So they did not create it, but they found out about it, and now are like, oh, we should make our own version of this. But we shouldn't overlook the potential for collateral damage. Consult the A-78XDs with the rental and leasing agreement on this one. Make sure it's crystal clear that we are 100% absolved of any liability in the event of a catastrophe. On a personal note, keep me updated on how the circus is using these. It's been a while since I've seen a good freak fight, and it just might be worth going out to see a pair of 50-foot tall ghost monsters duke it out. Okay, Memo 2. Sender Jim Tolley, recipient Victor Chan. Victor, I've been doing some product testing with the fidget winners, and it seems they gain XP after each victory and lose it after defeat. That's why the Smilodon look different. If they collect enough XP, they evolve like a Pokemon into a bigger, stronger, more aggressive form. Now you're just on the nose, aren't you? Considering how these things start out, they are saying something. We only triggered one evolution so far, and I spare the details. But if we didn't have that drone set up to knock the actual fidget spinner down, sorry, it would have been a disaster. If these things were actual paratech, then either myself or Iris could reprogram them to be less problematic, but as far as we can tell, they're just cursed fidget spinners. The good news is it seems to take about 12 straight victories to trigger an evolution. I'd recommend keeping a careful track of each fidget winner's victories, which shouldn't be too hard since they come with a stat display. When one starts gaining too much XP, it should be paired against an opponent is like to lose to. If one gets too close to the danger zone, it should be retired. I want to buy that cookie so bad. Update the rental agreement to include all of this ASCP and maybe even include a skilled drone operator just in case. And make sure that the damn circus knows about this. At this rate, they're pitting these things against each other, and evolution is inevitable. Yeah. Especially if like one always keeps on winning. Organization helmet full circle of disquieting. Yep. Acquired June 2nd, 2018. Method of acquisition provided upon request by client. The game was disquiet is proud to represent Fidget winners. 2 colossi enter the ring, only one walks out. Battle Royale. Summoned by seemingly run-of-the-mill children toys and gifted life and titanic size by the whimsy and bloodlust in us all. Our Battle Royale puts only the most fearsome and spectacular of Fidget winners against each other. Round after round after round of no holds bar brutal annihilation. Until one champion remains. Come on down to see the greatest fight of your life. And here it says in small notes, one day only. Gates open at 11 AM this Friday outside of Oisetermov Castle. I'm not sure. 1 hour, 1 chance. Come on. And then we have Victor Chan again. Well, not again, but date June 9th, 2018. After the circus of the disquieting had been hosting fidget winner fights for over 2 months without any incident, Mr. Marshall insisted on seeing a fight in person. That's where it goes wrong. I, along with his usual retinue of guards and attendants, escorted Mr. Amos Marshall as well as Mr. Skidder Marshall to the circus of disquieting shows at Oystermouth Castle in the Wales on June 8th of this year. But before this date, I personally saw to it that the circus received the update leasing agreement and checked multiple times to make sure they had been adhering to it. Before the fight, I also had checked the stats on each of the Fidget winners to make sure they were all acceptably low XP. Nonetheless, it just wasn't my night. The first few rounds proceeded as normal, with both the elder and younger Marshall enjoying the spectacle immensely. In the penultimate round, however, the Fidget winner known as the Luminescent Lamia achieved an unprecedented combat multiplayer and was hence awarded with enough XP to evolve. Aye shit. He transformed from half woman, half snake with glowing hair to a fire-breathing half humanoid snake, at least 50% taller. More relevantly, she did not deactivate as Fidget winners typically do upon victory. Instead, the disembodied announcer that accompanies these things demanded a death match against all other Fidget winners present. Why would you do that? Before I could even suggest that we withdraw, the entire crowd, including Mr. Marshall, if I may be so forward, cheered in agreement. And the deathmatch commenced. Almost immediately, the evolved Lamia knocked the other Fidget winners fighters into the crowd, causing mass pandemonium. To the circus credit, they did not have a drone operator present who attempted to take out Lamia Spinner, but the Lamia had become sufficiently tangible to swat the drone down. At that point, the tent was quickly evacuated, but the active winners were dispersed as well and began wreaking havoc throughout the circus. Mr. Marshall's security detail responded admirably, rapidly removing him from the scenario without wasting any time, and also trying to rescue the accompanying sales representative. I survived, obviously. I'm not sure how much detail you would like to go into here, but numerous members of the circus were successful in knocking down the rogue Fidget winners. I personally had no idea Nolly had such accuracy with throwing knives, with the exception of the Lamia winner, which is currently detained in the funhouse with the fun lovers. I request that the circus update me on the situation as it develops. And then we have a Amos Marshall recipient, Victor Chan. Sorry about that, kid, but these Fidget winners fights were your idea. As for the show itself, I nearly died and lost every damn bet I made, but that was the best damn freak fight I have ever seen. 9 out of 10 would see again. Of course he would say that. I almost died out there, but my god, was it a show. A show I would watch again. My dad would be my hologram? Yeah, of course it would. Of course he would. That makes the most sense. Now this. Although if you do make this into a game, I'm pretty sure Nintendo would find a way to be like, no, you can't do that. That's you copied from our IP. You can't do that shit. And be like, but it's not the same now, is it? Not fully the same. Not fully the same. So you can come here and talk about that stuff.